guys, welcome to the Licklist Industry Podcast. We're here today with Jeremy and Ross of Rubix here in Colchester. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to meet with me today. Flying solo today, so yeah, all down to me. So guys,
no pressure.
Exactly. So guys, if you want to explain a little bit about how we got it today, what's the concept behind Rubix?
Well, we've been, both of us, actually, we've worked together in a previous sort of venture where we've run like events companies. We're also both from a DJ background as well. Oh, cool. So sort of growing up in this area, running an events company, working with various different companies, and obviously meeting various members of the public. We've just sort of got this feeling that there's the gap in the market, that there needed to be something when it came to nightlife in the town. There needed to be something new, something different. Right. And there was no point in obviously being in the bar sort of club industry. It's not an easy game to be in at the moment. There was no point in doing something the same as everyone else, and we've kind of been kind of front of the house, haven't we, for many years, really, with what we do.
It was a bit of a crazy idea we came up with one evening, really, wasn't it?
We've always thought we'd like to do a bar or venue, but it would have to be the right time and the right place. This particular venue came up. Right. And the good thing about it was it already had a license, and it had a 3 a.m. license. So it had a sort of a very rare license, really. I mean, they don't give out licenses very, very easily anymore. I think it's almost impossible, isn't it, to get a license that lets you open till that time. It was a ready equipped bar. I say it was a ready equipped bar. It had been run into the ground. So we kind of thought, well, this could be something, a blank canvas to create something new. Right. And I mean, we do with my other company, we do a lot of corporate events. We do a lot of weddings, a lot of things like that. We do a lot of events with the local football club, things like that. Every time we've done anything retro, anything to do with 80s, 70s, 90s, it's always, all the tickets are sold, it's always been really, really popular, and it seems to appeal to all age groups as well. And many people have said, I wish there was somewhere, we'd love to go out more often at the weekends. There's nothing that caters for us, there's a lot of, like in most towns, there's a lot of venues, but most of them seem to be aimed at more of the students, teenagers, and it's all, you go to all the different bars and they all do what they do well. Yep. But it all sort of seems to be mainly the same sort of people that congregates in these venues. And I think there's this myth that people think that once you're in your 20s, all you want to do is go out for a meal and go home, and you don't want to party, you don't want to drink, you don't want to dance, and I think we could speak for us all here. We're all well over that age now, and we still want to do those things.
Yeah, but I mean, what we also had is we're trying to get people sort of different age groups to join together, and that's kind of the concept we've created, really, and it's working.
I mean, the thing is with 80s, it's a very sort of cool, and the retro sort of it's cooler now than it almost was back then, and a lot of people love it because it's nostalgia. They remember what they were doing. Maybe they met their partner then. Maybe they used to go clubbing then. They remember the outrageous clothes they wore then, and it's kind of bringing back that kind of that world. And then relive those memories again, and the music that they grew up with, and all the rest of it. But it's also about introducing a new sort of bunch of people that weren't even thought of in those days. That are like, we love 80s music. It's fun. We can dance along to it. Always, it's feel good. It's all about. I mean, what we wanted to create was not just a normal bar. We wanted to create like a bubble of just a bubble of escapism away from all your worries.
You can see that the way it's been decorated. I mean, not many bars have
it's all it's kind of like theatre, really. We just want to walk in. It's like everyone and everything we do in here is all geared towards escapism, and also taking you back into that fun era of the 80s. I mean, even if it's not maybe your cup of tea music wise, if you're having a night out, you've had a couple of drinks, just the nature of the kind of music it is, it's uplifting, it's happy, it puts a smile on your face.
Everyone knows a bit of use and I want to dance with somebody, and there's some
Bon Jovi living on a prayer and all that, and it's just like everyone sort of mucks in, and gets involved. And the great thing about it is we get, which I don't know about you, Ross, I don't think I've worked in any venues before where you get literally all the generations of people under one roof. Yeah. I think we had a party the other day and I think it was someone's 18th birthday, and the mum was there. I think the granddad would turned up, and it's they're all like, and it's lovely. It's a lovely atmosphere. Therefore, because of the nature of the nature of the beast, as it were, the kind of music, the decor, it doesn't sort of it gives that happy atmosphere. We don't get any trouble. Everyone's got a smile on their face. They're all here for a good time, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we hope that they won't either.
No, of course. And would you say then, based on that, it's more of an experience to come in here, or are you kind of trying to build into that community and have more, I'd say, your regulars? Because I suppose maybe if you come one week, you've had the experience, you've done what it is.
Yeah.
You may not necessarily come again for a couple of weeks, or are you looking to entice that regular customer?
It's kind of two things, really. I mean, I think what you do find is when people get into the 20s, 30s, 40s, they wouldn't go out every single weekend.
Yeah.
It's something they plan. We've got a birthday party, we've got a hen night, we've got a leaving do, and it'll be something they'll put in the diary. They maybe will get a babysitter, they'll plan their outfit, and it won't be like, I think, though a lot of those people have probably got more disposable income, they've also got a lot of other things to spend it on, and it's more of a something to look forward to venue, rather than like when you're a student, teenager, you'll be going out every single week. So though we will have some people like that, we already have had some people like that, I think it's more about people will say, we love what you do, next time we've got a celebration, we'll come to you, rather than we'll see you next week.
But we do find as well that we are getting the regular.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of both, And I mean, we kind of want it to be a little bit like, you know what you're going to get when you're coming through the door, almost like like a McDonald's, you walk in there, you're going to have your burger, you're going to have and you come in here, you're going to hear your classic songs, your 80s songs. We do 80s always downstairs, and then we've got our second floor, which is really nice, where we can have a bit of fun with. We do a 70s night, we do a 90s night. We also do private hires up there as well, so it gives us the flexibility to do other things. And also, if people do come out on a night, and they're coming out with their friends, if they like slightly different music, they can be in the same venue together, and they can escape between the two floors, which is quite a nice thing to do.
Where do you see this in terms of on this particular high street? Then is it people are kind of flocking towards it? What's the kind of general interest been at the start? Because we were talking before, and you said you're kind of in your honeymoon period. Are you trying to just going to ride that for as long as possible, or what's the kind of back end of it? I suppose maybe heading into August, September, and even into the winter months. Are you trying to look to target?
Well, you've been tasked with that, so do you want to talk about that?
Predominantly, we're going to be sticking with 80s downstairs all the time. I think it works.
What's that like for you, though? Sorry to interrupt. In terms of hearing that same song every single week.
I think you could say that in any venue, though. I mean, people who work behind the bar or management, the DJs do something. They're going to play to the regular tune which you hear, and I think the 80s never grows old, and as we were just saying, the young ones like
But what you get is you get this. I mean, I've got also a background in radio as well, and you got it on the radio. You get it in the clubs where a good song, it kills it for you. It kills it for you when you're working there, because you're hearing it every night. But you need to remember that people that are coming into the venue, they weren't there last week, they weren't there last night. It's just like when I was on the radio. People, you might have played it every day that week, but someone might have only listened once that week. And it's the same way. You kind of have to treat it like every time someone comes in, they might have not heard that song for 6 months, a year. Whereas we've probably heard it 5-6 times that week. For them, it's fresh and exciting, and they'll come up. They'll sometimes come up to you if you're DJing, won't they? And they'll say, "Have you got Whitney Houston?" It's like, yeah, because they don't realise that you do that in day in day out, and you stick it on, and you see their look of excitement. Hey, it's like, and I think that's what it's about. It's about making it sound. Remembering that every time you open that door, it's someone's first night in your venue, and it could be someone's night that they've been looking forward to and counting down for months on end, which I think makes us slightly different to a lot of the other venues where, of course they celebrate, people go out for birthdays, they go out for celebrations, but they're probably more regulars. Whereas I think, though as Ross says, we have got regulars, we've also got a lot of people that they book. We've got people booking VIP booze and things like months in advance, and I think that's something to do with the kind of market that we're aiming at, I think.
Sure.
But I think going forward, sort of the future, what we're going to do is always stick to the 70s, 80s, 90s, but it will have a bit of a tweak to it where we might do a 70s, 80s soul night, or to just bring something in different to the equation. We might put an act on. Things like
I was going to ask if you thought of the idea of maybe toying with cult films of the era and then playing the soundtrack based on that.
Yeah.
We're adding quite a few different events next month now.
Okay.
And I mean, they're still in the same kind of thing.
Sure.
Karaoke and 25's night.
Well, I think at the moment, I think it is, as you say, in the honeymoon period, and we don't want to start shoving things at everyone when they don't. At the moment, they're just coming, and a lot of people are still walking in for the first time. And I mean, it's quite different already. I mean, we've got screens all around the venue, which a lot of venues have, but we've also got a big video wall where we're very visual based. So we have most of the music we play the videos as well. And so that people, especially early evening, they've got a visual thing to watch as well. So not only do they enjoy hearing the songs, they like looking at the videos. Oh, look at that mullet! Look at that 80s perm! So that's the talking point as well. We sort of combine that with, we've got like a retro sweet shop, so we do all the classic sweets from back in the day as well. We're just trying to, as I said, take you back into a bubble of people who've got fond memories from the time they were growing up, but also for people that were never around at the time, again introducing them into an exciting world. But as Ross says, we've got lots of other things that we want to add to the mix, but we don't want to fire it all
too quickly.
At the moment. I mean,
you don't want to ram it down people's throat, and then all of a sudden they just go, well, you know.
But we also don't want to. It's so easy, and I'm speaking with my DJ. How the amount of venues I've worked at where they've sold out, you know, because you'll get 5-6 people coming in at the beginning of the night apart, and they'll say, "Can you play, I don't know, a bit of Drake?" Or so, well, no, we're an 80s bar. Oh yeah, but we're the only ones in here. Can you play it? You know, before you know it, you've watered down what you're doing, and
it's
then you've
important to stay to the brand.
Core values.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly. And I think, you know, there's been a lot of different venues that have done this kind of thing in the past, but there's not that many that do it quite. I mean, the old Chicago's brands used to be, you know, very similar, and then there was to a certain extent the Brannigans and the. And then there was the Reflex. There's the Reflex bars and things like that. But there's nothing in this particular town. I mean, there's a nightclub over the other side of the town that does the classic stuff. But when they do what they do, great, you know. And we're just trying to give a little bit of a spin on it. So, you know.
Have you had any pushback from anyone? Sort of licensing. I mean, I know you said that you had license here before, or from a perspective of just general high street pushback. Because where this venue's situated, if you just glanced at it from the outside, you think it was just a painter and decorator shop based on the illuminous lights and the rest of it. If you were to walk past it, that was my initial thought. That's quite interesting.
That's the first.
We've got a list. Can we add that on the list?
We've had it. Looks like a sweet shop. Vibrant purple. But I think we are a little bit off.
Yeah, but we do stand out. I mean, in the night time as well, it does stand out. It's very, we light it up very well. So when you're at the end of the road, you can see it.
Something going on. Yeah.
So yeah, we're not on the high street. We're slightly off the high street. So it is a little bit. We don't get too many sort of passing customers and footfall. You know, so it's got to be almost a little bit of a destination venue. You know, and we weren't really sure whether we were going to be an early evening bar or a nightclub, because again the culture's changed so much from when I started in the business, where it was you had the local Yates or whatever local bar, everyone would go in there till 11 o'clock, it would shut, then everyone would go to their local
nightclub,
Ritzy or whatever it was back in the day, you know. And now the culture's changed where there isn't like the bars early, nightclub later. Now it's just like, well, all the bars and nightclubs are pretty much all open at the same time.
It's almost like the bars have become the nightclub.
And we didn't know whether we were going to be on a sort of. It kind of, I don't think you get a lot of say in that really, how you end up, whether you're a destination venue or whether you're an early evening venue. You know, we seem to be at the moment kind of a destination venue, don't we?
Yeah.
What made you launch at this particular time of the year? Because you've only been going a month, or just over a month, and obviously with today's climate and everything, people are kind of in the reserves, they're a bit scared, we're not really sure what the market's going to be like, and you just gone balls to the wall, we're just going to launch an 80s night and see what happens.
No one's been as scared as my bank manager. I think the first comment I go, well, we don't really have the appetite for this kind of venue or this kind of a business, you know. So I went to a different bank, and we've got loads of support, and it's great. But you're right, it's there's bars, pubs closing every single day at the moment, isn't there, in the country? And it's not an easy industry to get in, and a lot of people have said to me, and I don't know if said, you're a brave man, and they're all stupid. I don't know which one it is yet, and it maybe it's too early to tell. But at the moment, the vibe we're getting is, we love it. It's a gap in the market. We've been waiting for something like this to come along. We're telling all our friends we're going to come out. We're going to bring our family. We're going to spread the word. This is what Colchester's been waiting for. And if that, you can't get complacent that we've got a lot of Facebook followers, a lot of good comments. We can't even be complacent that we've got a lot of people coming through the door, because it is the honeymoon period. And
we've had that conversation. You could almost lose your venue in a night. You know, where you could be dead the next day. And I think it's important to stick with what we're doing, and keep it to a high standard. And
I think that's what it's about. It's about keeping the. A lot of people have said that they love the fact that it feels like a family when they walk in. Not only people that work here, but customers that walk in. I think it's very, very important. It's again, it's because we've worked in this industry for so long. There's so many things that I've noticed over the years. It's like obviously the most important. The first thing you see when you're greeted at a venue is your door staff. And they are your host. They're the first thing you see, the last thing you see.
Yeah.
How many venues have you walked into over a year and you speak to over the years and you speak to the door staff and they're grunt at you? You know, I mean, not so much now, but there are venues that
you're always scared to even.
I did a bit of research before we opened.
There's my ID.
Yeah. I did a bit of research before we opened. I went to a few venues and I went to chat to the door staff. Thought, where's good? Well, you know, what kind of music do you hear? Trying to get a bit of banter from them, and to be honest, some of them were quite atrocious. They just didn't want to talk. And whereas our guys, they'll chat. They'll welcome on. Have you been here before? Are you with? You know, and our customers have actually commented on that and said, we love the fact that your door staff are really friendly. Your bar staff are always smiling and dancing around, and that's the kind of way we've gone. We want people with experience, but also people that understand what we're trying to create here.
You looked for the Max and Paddy type door staff, then the ones that engage.
Yeah, a little bit to a certain extent. Yeah.
That's good. That is good. So it means that, as you said, it can be quite a risk coming into the market, a bit of an unknown market, but at the same time, you're dabbling with a genre of music and an era of music that's so well known and people love it. So if you're combining that with something different and unique, then it can be a winner. Having said that, would you look to branch out across the UK? Would you look to franchise this eventually?
We've had that conversation.
Okay. I mean, obviously, if it, give it 6 months, see how it goes. I've already been contacted by a couple of other venues, or towns rather, and people that have venues saying, would you be interested in doing this? And obviously it's too early to say at the moment, but I think we've got quite a strong brand and it's quite recognisable. We know exactly what we're trying to do with it. As long as we don't water it down and we stick to our guns, we keep the standard up, and obviously we don't, obviously nowadays as well, it's with any venue, it's your shop window isn't your shop window, it is your social media, it's your Facebook, it's your Instagram, and as long as we keep all that up as well and keep coming up with new ways of promoting what we're doing, coming up with new nights. I mean, we're going to be doing to keep with the format of what we're doing. We're going to be doing like an 80s quiz night one night on a quieter night, sort of retro quiz night. We're going to be doing. I'm not a big fan of it. We're going to be doing karaoke, aren't we?
Yes.
And what else are we doing? Yeah, an over 25s night as well, because again, a lot of people said, we want something that, is just for us, sort of thing, And
fancy dress.
Yeah, we do fancy dress. But we were saying, come in fancy dress, you'll get free entry or whatever. We always make it, and we have certain nights where we get all the staff dressing up and things like that.
Oh, good.
So it is just about having some fun. I mean, obviously we take it very seriously, but from a business point of view, but from a customer point of view, we don't take ourselves too seriously. It's about having a bit of fun, having a bit of a laugh, and we say to our DJs, play whatever you need to play. Don't be too proud about what you play.
It's funny you said. I heard something just before I come in. It was good. Take yourself seriously, but don't be too serious.
Yeah, well, that's very good advice. That's very good advice.
At the end of the day, you've got what you have this plan. You guys have come from a varied background within the industry. Is it because coupled with what you've seen go wrong, you didn't want to make those kind of mistakes here, rather than jump in with 2 feet straight away and then make the mistakes?
We've been there, kind of from the other side of it, from DJs, from everything, and the amount of times I've seen venues like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And we've hopefully learned by other people's downfall. I'd like to say, not that I like to see anyone fail, but I mean, it's hopefully we've been in the industry long enough to learn the pitfalls, and hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not saying we're not going to make mistakes, and we all
make mistakes. I think
I think we learn every day. I mean, we had issues here initially with the venue being just very, very hot, didn't we? We had all new aircon fitted, but it just couldn't handle it because the venue is, was so busy so quickly, and we were struggling getting the temperature right. So that's something we've been working on as well. And obviously we're also in when we're in the town centre, we are in a bit of a built-up area. So we do have residents around here, and the bar had been closed for a while, so they'd got it used to having a mask.
No,
suddenly we were the bad boys. So, and I thought, well, you know what, we want to, we don't want to be the enemy. We want to get on with everyone, and so we sort of I sort of grabbed the bull by the horns, the neighbours, and I ended up having a chat with them. I think I ended up in their bedroom one Saturday night. Bear with me. I ended up in their bedroom listening to see if the sound was right and tweaking it, because they were so initially really they weren't too happy, but hopefully we've worked with them to get it right. And we sort of said, we're trying to run a business, but obviously we know you've got to live here. So I went to I sort of preempted it all and went to the environmental health before there was any complaints and said, look, what would you like us to do here? How can we make things, right for the residents and for you? And we ended up, we've got a smoking area at the back here, which is actually quite nice. It overlooks onto the Roman walls, and we lit it up all nicely. And it was going to be one of our features, but we ended up not opening it at all because it backs onto the residents. So we decided we just decided to take a hit on that and move our smoking area to out the front. There's certain things you've got to do because you've got to get on with the community, haven't you?
I agree. What makes a good business partnership in this industry then?
Well, we've been friends for a long, long time. 10 years?
Yeah, we've had more rows than...
we're like a married couple.
That's what your wife says. She's over there nodding.
We've been friends for about 10 years. We actually met DJing in a club back in the day. Yeah. And then the friendship sort of grown, and as you said, we've had arguments, but it all seems to work with us.
Yeah, really, we've both got. So though we kind of sing from the same hymn sheet, we kind of know what we want to do, but we've both got our own skills. You're more technical than me, aren't you?
Yeah, you're more front of house.
And I'm more front of house. I mean, I kind of designed the venue. You've had more bar experience, so you've been working behind the bar. I still can't pull a pint properly, to be fair. So I'm more the front of house, the way it looks, the way it sounds, and it kind of works. We have our little domestics, don't we? But
we laugh it off the next day, and I think that's how it
But again, works. it's about we're not working in a bank. We're working in an environment where people come to have a good time, and if we're not having a good time, how can we expect our customers to?
Sure. 12 months from now, what does this place look like?
A little bit dirtier. This wallpaper, I'm worried about it. No, in 12 months, then I would like to think that we're still we've by then cemented our position in the market, and people know that if they've got a party going out, they've got different ages coming out, they want somewhere they know without fail they're going to have a good old knees up, good old laugh without any trouble and any problems, and then they know what they're going to get. Then I think they'll think, you know what, we're going for a party, we want to have a nice fun night out, we'll go to Rubix. That's what I'd like to think. And then I would also like to think that we're in the process of opening Rubix 2.
And I think it's important to know, like with any venue, you can just let it go to rack and ruin. It's like having 100 people in your living room every night. It's going to get battered in the walls, but I think it's important to keep that nice and maintained.
I got a little bit emotionally attached to it before it opened, and I was treating it like almost if you'd had your house done up. And then obviously the first night I was like, I said, you can't go around to each customer and get them to get your hands off the wallpaper. Wash your hands. So I think obviously you've got to let the reins go a little bit on the venue, but we've said that we're going to every 3 months we're going to give it another coat of paint, and we're going to keep. And also, I always judge a venue, and I was told this at an early age. You judge a venue by the toilets. And
they are quite nice. Yeah, rather warm, but it's quite nice.
But that's so important, though. I mean, I think we've all been to venues where toilet seats are hanging off, toilet doors don't work. And I think those kind of things are really important, even if it's subliminal. Think if the toilets are looked after, then the venue's nice.
Has anything odd turned up, or one person turned up or turned out in the toilets? That's been a bit. How did that get there? Yet.
Where did we find the bra?
We've had a chicken fillet bra. We've had things like that. Some strange and random
and then when you get one shoe left, you think, what have they done? Have they hopped home? What's happened there? You'd understand too, wouldn't you? But,
there's always a random shoe at some point.
There's always a random shoe. We've had. I didn't think we'd have a proper little lost property. Every week we have a bin liner of stuff. People just go home without their clothes. I mean, we want them to have a good time, but maybe that's taking it a bit too far.
And just before we wrap up here, what's important about building the success of Rubix? What is one of the most important key factors of the journey and the story of Rubix?
Several things. I think going forward, it's about the journey can only continue if you listen, as well as not just do what we want to do. It's about listening to what your customers want, what they think, and just working with them, going on the journey with them. that needs changing. We love that, but could you do that? And just keeping it current, keeping it exciting, and just keeping ahead of the game, and keeping the product, keeping a quality product. Do you not think?
Yeah, no, I agree. And as I said, listen to the customers to bring the new things they would like to see in the future. I think
don't become complacent.
Yeah, complacent.
I mean, you're only, we've worked at venues that can be absolutely rammed, one in, one out, and then 2 weeks later, no one comes in.
Yeah.
It can happen, and sometimes there's usually a reason for it, but sometimes there's not. But I think if you get it right, then why would people go? There's obviously other venues already are tweaking what they do, and they're going a little bit more retro and stuff like that. And you expect them to do that, and we'd do the same. And we'll probably have to do that when someone else comes. The new guys come on the block next.
Yeah.
I think one thing we have realised, sort of doing this in this day and age now, is that you need to advertise to get people in the venue.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not on the day you open the doors. There you go, fill your bar. We really had to hit social media hard and the advertising newspaper. It was all those.
Yeah, it used to be Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays in any town. You open your doors, everyone pours in. But now they just don't, do they? Unless you've got to work for every single customer. But that equally means that you really have to. You appreciate each customer, and you need to look after them, make them feel special, and make them almost part of your family.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say it's a hard business, but it can be fun, and it's what you make it.
What do you enjoy the most about the job then? So say it's a Saturday night, you've come in, you want to see what's going on. You sit behind the bar and you observe. At that point then, do you go, it's all worth it?
I think if you look around a venue and you just see
everyone having a dance,
hands in the air, singing along, you just think, do you know what? You get more of a buzz from that than looking at a till full of money, to be honest. You really do. Obviously the till full of money is important.
Of course.
But that's not where you get where you get your buzz from, because we're an independent, we're not a chain as well.
Yeah.
You kind of feel we've achieved it. We've done this. We haven't. We can reap the rewards. Equally, we'll have to pay the price if it doesn't do so well. But we think we've done this, and we can be. And if something is slightly wrong, we haven't got to go through a big chain of command. Yeah. We can change it like that. We haven't got to wait for some area manager to come and see us and see whether we can do it. So we can react on the high street there and then.
Brilliant. Okay, good. Well, look, guys, thank you very much for joining me, and
thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.